thank you so much for joining us today for the Pastor's Potluck podcast. Here on the Pastor's Potluck, it's similar to a normal potluck where you might get something that you want and there may be something that you just want to pass up altogether. And that's okay. There's something here for everybody. Our goal here is to encourage you and maybe in the process entertain you. If you're ready, let's dig in. All right, thank you so much for joining us once again for another episode of our Pastor's Potluck podcast. Today we have Pastor Scott joining us. What's up, man?
Oh, I'm excited to be back. This is one of my favorite things that we're doing right now, so I'm really excited to get back and to talk. I don't even know hardly what we're getting into today, so I'm excited and really appreciate people listening to this and checking this out. So we're definitely going to have some fun today.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to everybody who listens and watches on YouTube or on Facebook and just wherever you consume this content. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you all. Yep. So the holidays are upon us, like officially upon us.
Yeah, I was in a training yesterday with a guy from another church, and we were up here in a room for like 4 hours watching this thing, and the first time I went to the bathroom yesterday, I guess between that bathroom break of that training and the time that I had gone earlier before the training, the bathroom signs got switched out. And when I went in, every bathroom sign was talking about Christmas. Every single thing on there. And I'm like, this is so crazy that literally in 3 weeks it's going to be December and we're going to be having Christmas before we even know it. I saw all those Christmas events, and I'm like, I cannot believe this.
Yeah, I got to go shopping.
It literally just felt like summer just ended, and I think it's because we're just, everything's been full tilt this fall here at the church, and here we are.
Yeah, ever since everything here in West Virginia opened up with COVID protocols and precautions and everything else. It has felt like we have just been moving like 100 miles an hour. And I caught myself having those same thoughts. I'm like, oh my goodness, it's here. We just got done with Halloween and now everybody's planning and run around and turkeys and food for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And then always in the back of your mind, like after Halloween, for me at least, it's like, all right, I've got to buy my kids some stuff for Christmas and I
feel like Megan might have told me this. Do you guys already have your Christmas decorations up?
We have our Christmas tree up.
See, I've been seeing a lot of that this year. What is up with that?
So my parents were in town recently, and while they were in town, we just had an idea to go ahead and put the Christmas tree up so my kids can have that memory of being able to put up stuff with the on the Christmas tree and stuff at the house.
Okay, I'll give you a pass then. That's a really sweet answer.
Yeah.
But I'm going to guess the rest of you that have your Christmas trees up already don't have such sweet of an answer because I've been seeing this everywhere, and I'm like, are you guys kidding me? It's like every year we get a little bit crazier. Yeah. And, before you know it, the first day of school is also going to be let's hang the stockings.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting earlier and earlier, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. But whatever, to each his own, I guess, when it comes to that. Well, we don't put up the Christmas tree until after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's what we usually do.
You know what frustrates me about Thanksgiving? I was telling Megan this last week. Because, during Halloween this year, for whatever reason, we got really into watching Halloween movies. With the kids, whatever, little kind of kid movies. We were like, hey, let's do it. And then, last year, and actually the last couple of years with kids, we watched lots of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
There's not enough Thanksgiving movies.
There isn't. There's a.
Can you
Charlie
think of
Brown?
any Thanksgiving movies other than Charlie Brown? Which I'm not watching that. I don't like Charlie Brown.
I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Isn't that that's a whole market right there? This is $1 million idea. Thanksgiving movies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to picture people sitting around the table. I can think there's sections in movies that they celebrate Thanksgiving, but not a legit Christmas movie, start to finish. This is what we need.
Thanksgiving
that's our
movies.
Common theme.
Hollywood, please listen to this podcast and take my advice. We need Thanksgiving movies. Because this is why the madness of Christmas starting the day after Halloween starts is because you don't have enough Thanksgiving stuff. There's not enough Thanksgiving songs.
Yeah.
There's not enough Thanksgiving movies. There's not enough Thanksgiving decorations.
Yeah.
We need it all, and then we can have a whole month of Thanksgiving, which would be awesome because it's actually one of my favorite holidays.
Yeah, it's great because there's not a whole lot of obligation except for to sit down and eat.
Yeah, it's awesome. So more Thanksgiving movies, please. Let's get on that. Somebody listening to this, you have to have the connections. Tell somebody somewhere Thanksgiving movies.
For sure.
It's a multi-million-dollar idea.
I want to continue to talk about movies, but just to kind of backtrack a little bit, there is you and I have a really good friend. She serves in my ministry. She serves on the elder board. Her name is Sherry. She has kept up her Christmas tree year round.
Yep.
Now she's decorated it like once per month. So like I guess I don't know what January would have been, whatever, but like February was like all hearts and stuff. Yep. You know, then March maybe was like all the green stuff because of St. Patrick's Day or something, and then she did like a 4th of July tree, and she has like her Thanksgiving tree up, which is like nothing but like pumpkins and like fall colors.
Yeah,
and stuff.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, but yeah, people that like decorate their Christmas trees like October 1, and they're like, man, we're getting ready for Christmas. I mean, how can you focus like on like what you should be focused, like Thanksgiving, and then you're like, oh, we're eating around the Christmas tree, and
yeah,
but I don't know. For me, I want to be able to like focus on like those specific holidays, especially Thanksgiving, because we have so much to be thankful for.
Yeah,
and so much just to be able to teach our kids on how to live lives of being grateful kids.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I want the Christmas stuff to be special.
Yeah.
And so I want it to be for a set amount of time to the way it stays special and not like, hey, this year we're going to put our tree up 3 months early.
Yeah.
'Cause then it's like, that's a whole quarter of the year that the tree's up. Then it's not as special.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't. Last year was the first year that Megan and I were married that we ever had outdoor Christmas lights.
Yeah.
The electric bill that comes with that. I don't want to do that more than for about 3 weeks, to be honest. I don't want to do that for a whole quarter.
Did you get LED lights?
I have no idea what we got. We probably got the cheap ones. I had nothing to do with it. I could literally not have any Christmas decorations and be totally fine.
Yeah.
Megan
Except for a
likes
tree?
that. I could go either way.
Yeah.
For the kids, yes, the tree, but like if it was only me, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what outdoor lights we had, but I do know that our electric bill was ridiculous. So I couldn't imagine going all out for Christmas starting in November and having to do 2 months of that.
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Well, to get back on movies, like one of the things that you and I have talked a lot about is you are, I wouldn't say like a movie connoisseur, but you can appreciate like all movies.
Yeah.
So like we're in the holiday season. We're in the thick of it. Are you a big fan of like all the like Hallmark stuff that comes out? Like where?
No.
It's terrible, right?
The Hallmark. Oh my goodness. I'm going to offend like half of our listeners, if not more.
You're not going to offend me.
Hallmark movies are terrible.
They are terrible.
They're so bad. And I don't even mind cheesy stuff at the holidays, but this is like next level. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm out on all the Hallmark stuff. I just can't do it.
What kills me is that the plot line is pretty much the same premise.
Yeah.
A big city girl who's had like the big corporate job decides that she can't do it anymore, and then she moves into like this small town. And so like this country guy who always drives a pickup truck that's a little bit of a beater, and they like he accidentally runs into her, and then she drops her groceries, and then they have like that moment. Oh, hey, what's your name? Hi, my name's so and so, and this and that. You know, we have this Thanksgiving parade. Why don't you come and hang out? And you know, I don't know, I'm new here, and then it just
I find those movies to be sad.
It frustrates me.
For the most part. There's so many of them that have like really sad parts in it, and I'm like, that's the opposite of how I want to feel at Christmas time. Like, I don't want to feel sad at Christmas time. I don't want like highly emotional movies. Like, I want things to always go good. I don't want like the drama in my Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And Hallmark, every time, granted, I haven't watched a ton of them, but the portions of them I've seen, the whole feel of them just makes me feel sad.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not even the plot of the movie. Maybe I'm totally out on this because I haven't fully watched them. But they always seem sad to me. Or like I'll see like a commercial for one, and like just what they show in the commercial, I'll be like, I'm not watching that. That looks like a depressing movie.
Yeah.
When I should be like the happiest time of the year.
Correct. They always try to pull at like your heartstrings, just like probably in the most unconventional and probably unreasonable ways. Because the big city girl, gets in an argument over something like with the dude, and then she's always like, "Well, how am I supposed to know your dog died or whatever?" Yeah. And then like 5 minutes later in the movie, they're like, "Okay, we're friends again."
Yeah, or if there's like a sick kid or something like that, it's
dude.
Christmas time, I'm out, yo. Like I know that stuff happens, and it's sad, but I don't want to be sad in the holidays.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to watch that movie at all. So I watch a lot of holiday movies, but I'm not watching anything sad or that's on the Hallmark Channel, period.
What's your favorite holiday movie?
My favorite holiday of any holiday?
Well, just I guess since like we're knocking on the door and there's only one Thanksgiving.
We'll skip Thanksgiving because they don't have any movies, which they should. But since they don't, Christmas movie, this is going to be very unpopular for the younger crowd because Megan hates this. In fact, if I ever get to watch my favorite movie at the holiday times, I normally have to watch it by myself.
After everybody's gone to bed?
Yes, because Megan and the kids refuse to watch it. But my favorite Christmas movie is It's a Wonderful Life.
The old black and white one?
Yes.
Dude, it's been years since I've seen that.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. I don't really remember where I came to like it so much, but I love it. But Megan hates it.
Yeah.
And because it's black and white, when the kids see it, they're like, "Oh, no, we're not watching that."
Yeah.
Like,
is that how TV was whenever you were growing up?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, dude,
no,
I'm not that old.
This movie's even way older than me, but, like, I don't know. I love it. In fact, we did a whole series here at Southridge. This was before you got here, called It's a Wonderful Life, where I actually pulled themes from that movie. We had the stage set up like part of the cityscape from the movie. It was awesome.
Yeah. I think mine, it's more of a, it's not that new, but I love Elf with Will Ferrell. It's such a great one. I mean, just because it's a good one. I also like the Home Alone movies as well.
Man. Love them.
The
first two.
Yeah, the first two. Now, apparently, they're coming out with like a new series or something like that on Disney.
Disney Plus is doing a new one. I cannot remember what it's called. It's still a Home Alone theme.
Yeah.
But it's like a reboot of some sort. I saw that coming out, and I think that's this year.
Yeah.
But now back to the Elf. I love Elf. But for some reason, my kids decided to watch it for like a full year, like not even Christmas time.
Yeah.
Like all year long, to the point where now I can hardly watch it. Like, it's such a good movie, but we watched it maybe 200 times.
Yeah.
Like, when kids are younger like that, they just latch on to something, and they're like, every time that we sit down, let's watch Elf, let's watch Elf, let's watch Elf. It's like, dude, it's June right now. I don't want to watch Elf.
Dude, the same thing with my kids. They did that with Polar Express.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did that with Polar Express, too, so it's another hard one to watch.
Yeah. I like that movie.
I do, too.
It's fantastic, but like you said, like they watch... It was a couple months ago, and I was like, hey, let's watch a movie. And, they already started advertising for all the Christmas stuff on Disney and Netflix and all these other streaming services, and it popped up, like, get ready for the holidays.
I did notice on the streaming channels last night, Megan and I were looking for a movie to watch, and all the Christmas stuff is out already. Yeah. I'm like, goodness gracious. It feels early, although I know it's middle of November, so we're getting closer.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm not even going to watch a Christmas movie till after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I think we should swap Thanksgiving and Halloween.
Yeah.
Just so we can have more time to prepare for Thanksgiving. And then Halloween's like a quick turnaround, kind of like what Thanksgiving is. I mean, Thanksgiving's beginning to feel like a filler spot.
Yeah, it's like the opening act for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Or maybe they should move Thanksgiving to January. start off the year.
Let's do something different with it.
Yeah.
It deserves better.
It does deserve better.
Speaking of the Polar Express, do you find that those elves seem very, like, mean and evil, like almost scary elves in that movie? What's up with that?
I don't know. Well, maybe they're just tired and grumpy.
It's like the
for
one
making
movie
toys
that I
all
remember
year.
where the elves are, like, I remember watching that the first time as a kid, and I'm like, these are supposed to be people that work at the North Pole with, like, the jolliest person ever, and why are they so, like, scary and evil?
Dude, they are. Dude, I'm just thinking, look, it's December 24th. I've been working my hands to the bone, my fingers to the bone, making toys all year. I mean, dude, if I had to make toys 364 days out of the year, and it was the last day, I would imagine I'd be pretty grumpy too. But
I guess so. But those elves really are troubling for me.
Yeah,
they're definitely not like Buddy the elf.
No, like he's pretty pumped about it.
Yeah.
Now, do you are just kind of changing off the topic of all of our holiday stuff? Is there any like other movies that you're looking forward to?
Like some that are coming out?
Just anything that's coming out. Like
I don't even know what's coming out.
What?
I don't pay attention to anything like that. Literally, because we don't have cable.
Yeah.
And if an ad pops up on a video I'm watching, I always skip it or just don't pay attention to it.
Gotcha.
I don't know what's coming out. If it's not on a streaming channel, I don't know that it exists.
Oh, I guess I follow pop culture a lot more than now that I'm realizing it. But I'm like a really big fan of like all the Marvel stuff that they that they come out with, like, and they put a lot of it on hold because of the pandemic. But they've got. Have you seen the new trailer for the Spider-Man? The new Spider-Man?
No.
What?
Does it still have Tom Holland?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't watched it. Like, I'm totally out of the loop with all of it because we only do streaming. Like, we don't do stuff with commercials or whatnot. And, like, we haven't been to the movies in forever. The last movie I saw in the theater was the horrible Space Jam that came out this past year.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. I knew that was going to be a train wreck.
I went to the $4 theater down at the LaBelle Theater, which is an absolute awesome experience. That movie wasn't even worth $4. That movie was so bad.
Yeah, you feel like they should give you $4 for watching it.
It was such a bad movie.
Yeah,
that was probably the last time that I went, and I don't know if they actually do movie trailers down there before those movies. So, like, to go to an actual theater, I don't even know the last time.
Huh. So
I literally have no clue of what's coming out.
I can't tell you the last time I've been to a movie theater.
Yeah.
I mean, it was before March of 2020.
I just find movies on streaming channels. Like, read the description. Okay, let's check that out or whatever. I don't know. We'll probably go to the movies sometime this holiday round. We normally like to go to the movies.
Yeah.
At least once when the kids are out of school or something like that. But now that the $4 theater's open, they don't play first run movies. It's normally second run movies or whatnot. Like, we'll probably go there.
Yeah,
instead.
I could wait a couple months for it to go to, like, what we would consider, like, whenever I was growing up, they had a dollar theater, and after it was in, like, the major theaters, like the AMCs or the Cinemarks or whatever, then they would go to, like, the dollar theater. Now, the dollar theater in San Antonio, that was sketchy. Mm-hmm. Like, you thought that you could lose your life, like, while you were being
There used to be one down on where, I guess, the area of town that they call Elk City.
Yeah.
There was one down there called the Rialto whenever I was in elementary school, and my family used to go there. And, it was some, like, we would go, and it wouldn't even matter what the movie was because it was $1, and that's what our family was going to do. Like, I'm fairly certain there was a movie, I don't even remember it, that I took my, here I am, 5th or 6th grade.
Yeah.
Girlfriend, quote unquote.
Yeah.
We all went as a family, and it was The Horse Whisperer.
Oh, that's terrible.
Have you seen that movie?
I don't know.
It's definitely not a 5th or 6th grade movie. Like, it was so, like, bored to tears.
Yeah.
And I still remember, like, what the heck? Why did we go see The Horse Whisperer when I was in 5th grade?
It's
like, here's why, because it was $1.
Yeah.
Right? It was $6 for all of us to get in.
Yeah.
That's why we went and saw it.
Yeah, I just whenever you said the title, I've heard of that movie, but anything with like like the name of an animal and Whisperer after that is probably going to be a god awful movie.
Yeah, it was definitely like a boring adult movie. It was not fun. Now sometimes they would have fun movies there. I didn't mind the dollar theater.
Yeah,
as long as they had good stuff. But the $4 theater, the last time that I wanted to go there, but I didn't get to, they had the Black Widow movie there.
Oh yeah.
And I have Disney Plus, and I still haven't watched it.
Yeah, it's not that good.
I heard it was good.
It's about a C on the scale of like I guess elementary grades.
Yeah.
In terms of like what they've put out, what Marvel's put out.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I haven't got caught up with all the new content yet, though. Like, I watched Loki, and I watched WandaVision.
Yeah.
But I have not started, what's next? Winter Soldier?
No.
What is that? Falcon?
Yeah. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Captain America, like the
No,
movie.
I've seen that one.
Okay.
No, I watched actually I guess it was last year, I watched all, 22?
Yeah,
movies
22,
or 20 or however many
like that,
are in the MCU. I watched all of them in order on Disney Plus, and then I watched Loki, then I watched WandaVision, and then I just stopped because I was just Avengered out. I'm done.
Now, are you one of the types of people that can go back and like watch a movie again? Because like in my household, like I can watch, like my favorite movies of all time is Lord of the Rings. I love them. I want to watch the extended. I want to watch all the commentary. I want to do that. And I watch those probably twice a year. All the Lord of the Rings, the extended ones, like the 4.5 hour movies. But there's also other movies that I can go back and watch, and I just enjoy them like tremendously. Erica, on the other hand, does not want anything to do with watching a movie after she's already seen it. Now, is that similar to your household, or can you go back and watch a movie, or are you just like one and done?
I'm both ways. Depends on the movie.
Yeah. Like
there's certain things I watch multiple times. There are other movies that I will never watch again.
Yeah.
Megan will rewatch stuff. Like, she was out on Harry Potter when we first started dating. She hated it.
Yeah.
I'm so opposed to it, period. And I'm like, listen, the new one's coming out, and I'm going.
Yeah.
And you're not going unless you've seen all of them, because at that point, like, they were releasing the new movies. I think this would have been, in 2009, 2010, somewhere around there. I was like, I'm not going to the movies with you if you're going to ask me 1,000 questions.
Yeah.
I will go by myself. She said, no, I want to go. I said, well, then you have to watch all the movies. And this time, I think it was either the fifth. I think it was the fifth one that we were waiting to come out, or the sixth one. So I'm like, you have to binge all of them. And so that's what we did.
Yeah.
We watched all of them. Now she's so obsessed with them. And we have seen them so many times, I literally can hardly watch them.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I guess for the holidays, they're on Peacock right now. She wants to watch them all the time. I'm out. I'm out on it. And now I have seen them because ABC Family had them on for like a decade. Every weekend.
Sure.
And so anytime that she would see it on, like, we would have to watch it. And then she got all the DVDs or Blu-rays either last year for Christmas or the year before, and so then we had to watch them all again.
Yeah.
And I think we actually just recently rewatched all of them on Peacock when we started that subscription. So I'm out on Harry Potter for a while.
Yeah. I think they're coming out with a new one. Like, they're trying to write because I think J.K. Rowling, the author of the books, she wrote something called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child or something like that. And it's supposed to be, I haven't read the books. I haven't read that book. But I think it's supposed to, the premise is it's supposed to be like Harry Potter's like kid and like he goes rogue or something like that. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be misquoting that if you've read the books. I don't even know if the books come out. I just saw speculating site or something like that.
Do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you know how Harry Potter got down the hill?
I have no idea.
Running. J.K. Rowling.
Oh, goodness.
Come on, that's good.
Oh, no.
No?
It's not.
It's not good?
It's not good.
Do you know when a joke becomes a dad joke?
Whenever dads look at each other and kind of look down at the ground and shake their heads?
No, when it becomes apparent.
Oh, gosh. Can we get back on movies, please?
Yeah, back to movies. There are some. I like The Lord of the Rings. Once again, this is one of those things Megan's out on.
Yeah.
I like The Hobbit better. And Peacock is really frustrating me right now. It has the second and third Hobbit, doesn't have the first one for some reason.
What?
And so I want to watch that whole series, but I can't find the first one. They're going to make me pay for the first one and then let me watch the second and third. I know what they're doing, but it frustrates me. I'm pretty sure I have those movies somewhere so I could watch the first one.
What's the logic behind that?
No clue. They have the whole Lord of the Rings trilogy on there, but they do not have the first Hobbit, which makes it hard to watch the whole trilogy of the Hobbit when you can't start with the first one.
Yeah.
I like those better than the Lord of the Rings, although I do like the Lord of the Rings just a lot. I'm not watching it yearly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably watching it every 2 years, every 3 years.
Now, what is it about the first ones that you enjoy, like, more than the Lord of the Rings? Is it because there's two different styles with those types of movies? So the Hobbit trilogy, a lot of it is CGI. Like a lot of all the bad guys are all CGI.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because they have like big giant trolls and whatever.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But like the Lord of the Rings, like all the orcs and the Uruk-hai and all those, like the bad guys, it's all practical effects.
Yeah.
With like latex, mask and.
I think what I like about The Hobbit is that it's the beginning of the story.
Gotcha.
Whereas The Lord of the Rings, you don't have all that backstory unless you read the books, which I didn't.
Yeah.
I still haven't. So, like, you're jumping into, like, you understand the whole premise of it. Like, here's the ring. It's bad. It's got to go.
Yeah.
But you don't understand.
I like that premise.
Yeah, right.
It's pretty simple.
I'm that's like a little hidden talent of mine. I could sum up 9.5 hours of your life by there's this ring. It's bad. It's got to go.
Yeah.
But like you don't understand Bilbo's attachment to that ring until you go and read / what I'm going to do watch The Hobbit. You don't understand that, and so. There's just parts of that, and you're like, okay, I feel like I'm missing something. And so to go back. Now, I will say, the first time in Lord of the Rings, when the Fellowship shows up at Rivendell, is just one of my favorite things in the world. Like, you just got all these different, like, mythical characters sitting in a circle, and they're, like, getting ready to team up for the... I just love that scene.
It's great. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And, I mean, the scenery and all of that is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And see, that's what I like about like science fiction stuff. It just kind of takes your mind off of like everything like going on.
Yeah.
And you are allowed to be entertained because you know that obviously people with like giant staffs or magic wands, excuse me, and that it just doesn't exist. There's some people out there that would argue that the fact that it probably does exist, But
now, isn't there a spiritual allegory to the Lord of the Rings stuff? I've heard that before, like because Tolkien, if I'm not mistaken, was like either a friend or a mentor to C.S. Lewis.
They were like absolute best friends.
Yeah, and so I knew that there was something like Samwise Gamgee is supposed to be like the Holy Spirit. He's like the helper, and all that. So I don't fully understand the allegory there. Some of that stuff just goes over my head a little bit. But I met a guy once on a New York City mission trip that explained it to me. I was like, wow, that makes lots of sense.
Yeah, for me, whenever I think of the Holy Spirit, I don't want to think of Sam.
Yeah, no.
I mean, maybe a couple times, but like I can't throw the ring in for you, but I could carry you, helping me get to my destination or making me understand my potential and my calling in my life. But like whenever I also think of Sam, I also think of that one part where he's like trying to talk to Gollum and he's like, we're going to make a stew out of these rabbits and putting in carrots and we're putting in taters. And then Gollum's like, taters? He's like, potatoes? Like, I don't want the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Like anytime I think of the Holy Spirit.
Yeah. And you don't want to think, actually, that's the same guy that's from 50 First Dates.
Yeah, I know.
As well. And so you're like, that messed it up for me.
Well, he's also like the little kid in Goonies. He's like the main character in Goonies. His name is Sean Astin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Wow. But, yeah, I like The Lord of the Rings. I want to go and watch the first Hobbit so I can watch the whole trilogy again because I do like... I don't know what it is about that story, but I just like it better than the Lord of the Rings story.
Yeah. Now, whenever you go to a movie theater, do you have like a go-to snack that you like I've got to get this. Like this is my number one. Got to get it.
Pop. Like that was always the thing, like to get a big pop at the movie theater.
Or soda or Coke for anybody that's listening outside of West Virginia. A fountain beverage, a bubbly soda.
My favorite combination is buttered popcorn with Butterfingers. They work really well together.
Like crunched up Butterfinger, or you just like take a handful of popcorn, take a bite out of
popcorn, put it in your mouth, take a bite of the Butterfinger, do it together.
I've never had that.
It's good.
I don't know that I would. I don't know that I will ever.
But Megan doesn't like butter on our popcorn. So now here I am, like a decade of my life where I very rarely get buttered popcorn anymore.
Dude, just get a large. Ask for like an empty bag and then split it. That's a good compromise there. Right?
I don't know.
Like you don't know, like because that could be an issue.
Well,
or does she?
I actually worked at a movie theater.
Okay,
so it's not that simple. Sorry,
dude. We're both like coughing or something in the air.
Yeah. So I actually worked at a movie theater, and you actually have to inventory every single one of those popcorn bags.
What?
So if you didn't sell it, you can't give it out. So I would actually have to probably buy that bag, which would be absurd.
I wonder if you can get on Amazon and just like order like a collapsible bowl and just hide it in her purse.
Yeah, I used to work at the movie theater down in Charleston, and the thing that you would have to do if you ran the concession stand at the end of the night, you literally had to count every cup that was out there. You had to count every bag, every candy. You had to inventory everything every single night to make sure that you weren't giving stuff away.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's like the money maker for like movie theaters.
Oh, yeah. That's where all the money's at, especially now, like, goodness, you go and it's a popcorn and drink for like $12.50, and you're like, that this stuff literally probably costs you about $1 in. But that's where the money is. But movies are so expensive to be made now; they're charging these theaters ridiculous, so they got to make up the money somewhere. So they do it on those concessions. The movie theater down in Charleston, Park Place Stadium Cinemas, is cool because everything there is free refills, no matter what size you get. And you can get like slushies, you can get pop, you can get popcorn. It's all you can eat and drink on those. Whereas normally you go and only the larges are free refills and stuff. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. It's kind of the pits though. Like if you want to get a refill, like in the middle of the movie, like you can't tell them, hey, can you hit pause really quick? I need a refreshment top off.
That was so funny. The first movie I ever went to go see was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I asked my mom, hey, can you have them pause this? I got to go to the bathroom. Because I didn't know how it works. She's like, buddy, you can't pause one of these movies. I'm like,
yeah.
Well, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
So that was my first.
Why did you let me drink this whole big old cup of soda?
Nobody warns you before your first movie theater experience, like, bro, you're going to miss something if you have to go to the bathroom. Dude. Now, as an adult, you just deal with it.
Can I tell you a funny story? We were on vacation in South Padre Island, Texas, and me and my dad and my brothers went and watched a movie, and it was like a guys get together and hang out, and we went into this theater, and it was like old school theater, like the seats were just like still flat almost, it wasn't like the theater seating, and we heard some rustling, like paper crinkling and like plastic and stuff. I'm going, what is going on? And this dude's sitting like right in front of us, and he's making all this noise. And so you kind of hear some familiar sounds, and you're like, God, where do I know that sound from? And I look over the front of the chair, and this guy, he's got a loaf of bread. He's got like a pack of ham. He's got Kraft sliced cheese. He's got like a butter knife, and he opened up. And so like he opened up like mayo and mustard. And this dude like brought like his whole pantry to make himself like this feast like in the theater. And so like, you're here, you're like, oh, okay. Like that's sliced cheese opening.
I never did that, but we would definitely bring our own stuff to the movies.
Oh yeah.
Like we always had to stop at the dollar store first, get all the candy and drinks and all of that, and then go to the movies, because there was no way we were going to buy tickets to the movie and pay $80 to get a box of candy and some popcorn.
Yeah.
So
we're not condoning this type of this type of lifestyle for everybody that's listening, but yeah. So it was that I remember doing that, but that was back in the day whenever cargo shorts were like really big.
They'd have to be big to get a loaf of bread.
No, this dude had a backpack.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I mean, he had you name it. He had chips. I'm pretty sure this dude had a fruit platter.
Yeah,
and
that's so funny.
I mean, he just sitting there just watching this movie, just slapping mayo and ham and cheese and like on his sandwich. And I don't even remember what movie we went and saw. And the only thing I took away from it was like this dude made a sandwich.
Working at a movie theater was awesome, though. We got to screen the movies Thursday at midnight before they would come out. So
that's cool.
All the movies would have to be watched to make sure they were, because they were still running reels at that time.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to make sure they were all put together and all that. So we get to watch brand new movies every midnight. But you also got to go to movies for free whenever you weren't working.
Yeah.
And when you went, you got 25-cent popcorn, 25-cent drinks. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's
so
almost.
I would see everything, even bad movies. I'm like, I'm going. Like, I would show up early for a shift and watch a movie or two.
Yeah.
Like, I loved it. I loved working at the movie theater. That was a fun job.
Yeah, if the pay wasn't so terrible.
Yeah, I was in college
Yeah.
at the time, so any sort of money was cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
At that point. But yeah, it was fun. I remember we got to remember movie theaters. I don't know if they still do this or not now that the world's so different. They used to do midnight releases for some of the really big movies, and I had to work the Pirates of the Caribbean, the third one that came out, World's End.
Yeah,
I worked that one. That was crazy how many people were there.
Yeah, I remember going to like a midnight release of whenever the first Fast and the Furious movie came out.
Wow.
And it was just so funny because whenever we left the theater, like all these people are like getting in their cars and revving up their engines. They've got like Toyota Corollas.
Oh, yeah. No, we had those car clubs at our high school, all after those movies.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, man, it is time for our mystery meet. I look forward to this because I'm like, okay, what kind of question can I come up with?
Mystery meat.
Yeah. So the mystery meat segment is you're walking down the potluck table and you just don't know what's coming, and you're going to take a scoop of it, or you're not. You're just going to pass it up altogether.
I'm definitely going to pass it.
So no, you're not. What has been your worst vacation experience ever?
Worst vacation experience?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is why the mystery meat's so hard, because
I know it catches you off guard.
Yeah, because I'm not prepared at all. My worst vacation experience.
It could be like anything. So it could be part of like maybe a staycation, or maybe you've traveled somewhere.
Okay, the one that comes to my mind, and this is one that my sister and we still give my dad a hard time for.
Okay.
To this day. My mom does too, because it was very sweet and well-meaning, but it ended up being a disaster, and it was so funny. And now, part of the reason why it was such a disaster is because I got sunburnt before I went, and I never get sunburnt. Like, I'm always one that I never had to have sunscreen growing up. Like, I just tanned, no problem.
Yeah. But
this one time I got sunburnt, and it was bad.
Yeah.
So, like, being in a car and all that was just miserable. Put your seatbelt on. It's like, I literally can't. Like, I was as burnt as you could possibly be. But my dad had this idea one summer that we were going to go see some West Virginia, like, icons, like places.
Landmarks?
Yeah, landmarks. There you go. Blackwater Falls, Seneca Rocks, and all this. And here I am, just an absolute disaster because I'm so sunburnt. And he books this hotel, which ends up being an absolute dump. Like, my mom was just furious about it. But he told us that there was a pool at this place, which was going to be like the one redeeming quality of this.
Yeah.
There was a fountain in the front of the hotel. There was not a pool.
Oh, no.
It was a fountain, so we didn't even get to swim at all. And so you've got two elementary school kids dragging them to, like, West Virginia landmarks that literally they do not care about whatsoever.
Yeah.
I have a bad attitude about things anyways as a kid. I'm sunburnt. The hotel was a dump. and the swimming pool was a fountain that didn't work.
Can you imagine like driving up and
Yeah.
like some dudes are just like kicked up? You know, they get their
Yeah.
arms on the sides and
Oh, it was. Now looking back, it was so funny, and it was actually a really good trip. Like Blackwater Falls, Seneca Rocks, Seneca Caverns, Spruce Knob, which is the highest point in West Virginia, I believe. They were awesome. I was too young and stupid to realize how awesome they were. Like it was a really, really cool trip on that front. But I just remember that hotel being an absolute dump, and the swimming pool was a fountain.
yeah.
That I'm pretty sure didn't have water in it.
Yeah, there was one time at the beach, and I like the beach. I hate the sand.
Oh,
I hate the sand.
that's me.
It's the worst. And we've talked about this, I think, on the first episode of the podcast, and sand, and it's just terrible. But the worst vacation experience for me was we went to the beach. I'm young, 7 or 8 years old, and a jellyfish just lights my foot up. Just like all the way up to like my knee, it felt like. And I'm just freaking out, and come to realize like this is, I don't even know if this is true or not, but they said to relieve the stinging and the pain sensation is you have to go to the bathroom on
I've heard that before.
And
I don't know if that's true or whether it's just a way to get people to pee on themselves.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I have heard that before.
Yeah. Well, so we get back to the hotel. I'm still in like a lot of pain because like my whole leg is numb, and I'm 7 or 8 years old. I don't know what happened, and for me it was like the worst feeling. Even if I'm standing in the shower, they were like, "All right, here's all this water. So by the time we get back to the hotel, you got to go to the bathroom on your leg." It was just the worst for me.
That's why I don't get in the ocean anymore. Is because I was sitting in the really shallow, just like where the tide would come up. Like I was sitting in that little area, not in the ocean. I'm literally sitting on the sand, letting the water rush up on me and leave. And sitting there, I got stung by a jellyfish in the stomach as a kid, and to this day, I want nothing to do with the ocean, man. I just hate it. I hate the sand. I like going to the beach, meaning like the area around the beach. I like the shopping, the attractions, the restaurants, but I want to go to the swimming pool. I don't want to go sand, and I don't want to swim in stuff I can't see to the bottom of because I did. Those jellyfish, they light you up. They hurt so bad.
It's weird that we know more about space than we know about our own oceans. So that maybe you can add that to your list of things of why I dislike the oceans, because we know more about space. We really do. We know more about space than we know about our oceans.
Did Luke tell you that?
Actually, yes, he did.
Yeah, I figured so.
Yeah. And on that aspect of not knowing what's in the ocean scares the life out of me.
Yeah.
Because I mean, growing up, getting back on movies, I watched 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, like all the time, and it was just fascinating because they had this giant squid that just got you.
Megan and I really like shark movies, which is funny because I don't like the ocean, I don't like the beach, but we love shark movies. Like The Meg is like one of our favorite shark movies.
Is that the one with Jason Statham?
I think it is.
Yeah.
And I think Rainn Wilson from The Office is in it as well.
He gets eaten.
Yeah.
He's got the face of somebody that gets eaten by a shark.
I don't think I can't remember if he makes it or not, but The Meg is about like a megalodon, like this huge, like that movie a lot. Like we like checking shark movies out, but a lot of them are like low budget and like really lame.
Sharknado?
Never watched it. Once again, I don't think I could make it through that. We were scrolling through horror movies and like Halloween type movies on one of the streaming channels during October, looking for a Halloween movie to watch, and those movies started popping up, and it was like Sharknado 1, and then there was like Sharknado 2, and they had all these like the funniest subtitles ever.
Oh yeah.
But then they started getting into, there was other movies that were made that would like take an animal and a natural disaster and put them together. I'm like, seriously, what? Even if you spent $50,000 on this movie, you wasted your money. Like, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
Some of them just look so ridiculous, and I'm out on that. But like, I always like Jaws and all that was all cool. But what is it? Deep Blue Sea is a good shark movie.
Yeah.
But
Did you ever watch that movie? I forget what it was called. Maybe Open Waters, where that girl gets like lost in the ocean and she's hanging on the buoy like most of the movie.
Yeah, I think we watched that. I can't remember if we liked it or not.
I don't know.
But we'll give any shark movie that's not like
Sharknado.
Yeah. We'll give it a try. Normally we end up turning them off because most
should,
of them end up being terrible because the acting's always bad.
Oh, yeah. And, well, the funny thing is like on the Sharknado movies, like they actually have like pretty, like I wouldn't say like A or even B-list celebrities, but they got some recognizable faces.
Really? Man, those people must have been desperate.
Well, probably. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's how you get like Samuel L. Jackson on Snakes on a Plane, which is just a disaster of a movie.
Dude, it's the worst.
Just horrible. I don't even know if I've actually watched all of it.
Yeah,
I probably like started it like back whenever I was in high school or college, and realized this is one of the stupidest things I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but the whole premise of that actually freaks me out now that I think of it because I am terrified of snakes.
Yeah, I don't want to be stuck in a plane with like.
I don't want to be
like regular people.
Yeah, I don't want to be on planes with other people, let alone other people and snakes. So.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. Well, hey, this is like a kind of like a perfect segue to kind of like wrap things up. Our Southridge Kids Ministry, they're actually going to be hosting a Meet Me at the Movies event on November 23rd at the LaBelle Theater, and even if you don't have kids and you want to just come out and support everything, we're actually going to be watching the new version of The Grinch. They did like a CGI one. It's not the one with Jim Carrey as the Grinch, but it's the newer one. And they're charging $5 a person, or if you have a family of four, or a family of so families of four, it's $5 a person, and if any additional members, it's $2 per person. And yeah, we're all going to go and hang out. We're going as a family, so it's going to be a great time.
Yep.
Hey, I appreciate it. Today was a fun one. Yeah. Just a good, relaxing one. We didn't have to put a whole lot of thought into it. At the last episode, we were like, hey, let's record this like super early in the morning and talk like deep biblical truths.
Yeah, I'm much more awake for this one. So
yeah. Well, man, I appreciate it. Once again, thank you so much to everybody listening and watching. We appreciate you. Share this with other people, with your coworkers. Hey, we're just normal people.
Yep. And if you're listening to this and you know anyone in Hollywood, Thanksgiving movies.
Yes.
We need them. We need them.
Yes, we do need them. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much for listening in with us today. We really appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram. You can also watch the video version of this on YouTube as well. All you have to do is search up the Pastor's Potluck Podcast. From all of us here, we want to say thank you, and we'll see you next week.